We want to bring in Trey Bosch, smart shopping expert at True Trey. Trey, welcome.
Thanks so much for having me.
This has been such an unpredictable year with inflation and tariffs. What should consumers expect when they hit the stores?
Yeah, you should expect some changes, right? We're going to be seeing higher prices, especially on things like electronics and apparel, maybe slightly lower discounts, perhaps some supply chain issues later in the season and shipping delays, and then also a change in priorities. According to a Lightspeed Commerce poll, we found that while almost half of us are going to be shopping today on Black Friday, half of us are going to be dividing our purchases between gifts, of course, but then also essentials. And what that means to me is that prices are so high that consumers are waiting for these big sale moments to take advantage of savings on the things that they use every day.
All right, and speaking of these big sale moments, what is on sale today and where can we find the best deals?
Yeah, so the retailers that I'm really watching right now because they have the best discounts, I would say JCPenney, Belk, Kohl's, Macy's, also Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Best Buy. And then in terms of categories, tech is really the star of the show. So think all things tech, and then small and large home appliances, fall apparel and footwear will be on clearance. And then we also will see a lot of beauty deals, especially beauty gift sets.
All right, and Trey, any tips for in-store shoppers today? And what about those of us who want to avoid the crowds?
Sure. So if you're shopping in the stores, we will see a lot of crowds. There'll be holiday music and decor. It'll be hectic. So stay organized. I like to use the Notes app on my phone to keep my list of recipients, the gift ideas for each, budget for each, to stay on track. And then if you don't like shopping in the stores today, there will be a lot of deals available online. Or if you're in a hurry, say if you have a gift exchange coming up this week, you could do a delivery app like Instacart. I like Instacart in particular because it combines your loyalty programs right inside the app. They also have digital circulars, and they're in the midst of their holiday deal month, and there are savings as high as 50% at retailers like Staples and Sephora, as high as 60% at Home Depot. So that's a great alternative if you don't want to go in the store, but you happen to be in a hurry to get your items.
And Trey, I've noticed in my own shopping that retailers had their Black Friday deals up like Wednesday or even earlier than that. Do you actually, if you're shopping online, do you actually advise waiting until Cyber Monday, or is what we see what we get right now on Black Friday for online shopping?
That's a great question. You know, the season has been spread out so much that deals are kind of coming and going, but we are right in the heart of it. We are right in the sweet spot. So I think you could do equally as well if you shop today versus Cyber Monday. The difference can tend to be on Black Friday. The deals are often on more specific, tighter items, like smaller categories. On Cyber Monday, they tend to broaden a bit. And so there are more deals just across multiple categories and broader items.
And Trey, how are people doing their holiday gift research this year?
Yeah, so this is a really interesting question. You know, we've for many years used online search, and that has not changed. But according to a Bread Financial poll, we're using online search, but now we're also using social media. About 40% of consumers are doing that. But a new player is, you know, similar to your previous segment, people are using AI. And so people are researching a little bit differently this year and using a combination of those things, which I am definitely a fan of. I think AI can be a really helpful way to get inspiration, especially for those trickier customers. So play around with some prompts, you know, very specific prompts, and you'll get some really interesting ideas that you may not have thought of yourself.
And how has traffic from in-person shopping compared to online shopping around the holidays? And are we seeing more shoppers leaning into e-commerce?
Absolutely. So e-commerce has been on the rise for the past decade or more. And so the retailers for brick and mortar, they have a real challenge here to get that foot traffic into the store. And so what they do to remedy that is to create a really welcoming environment. You've got the holiday music, you've got maybe free samples, great customer service, and then maybe some exclusives in store. And you will see that today where there's maybe some doorbusters that you won't find online. And so if you are an in-store shopper, it could be a benefit to go in the stores today.
All right, thank you, Trey Bosch, smart shopping expert at TrueTray and friend of our show. So good to see you again.
Thanks. Same to you, Ashley.